Nicole.
Hey guys, I'm Steven.
Hi, I'm Cal.
And welcome to our review of Rupauls Drag Race Season 2, Episode 3. Yeah.
It was a struggle. I was like, you're really trying to count that math there.
Whoa. So let's get into it.
Let's begin.
This episode was...
I'm going to premise this video with I'm not happy. I enjoyed
Okay.
getting to know some of the queens a little bit more intimately with, like, you know, personal experiences. I think this, the personality, the person, do you know what I'm saying?
The people came forward.
The heart of the episode.
The Monique heart of the episode.
The Monique heart of the episode came through in this episode.
And did you get the ooh-ah sensation?
No.
No.
And that's where the problem lies. Fashion-wise and like aesthetics were really fucking poor this week, and yeah, going forward, I am not going to be kind. Stephen, however, has a few nice things to say.
I would be
the nicest thing that I will say in this video is, "Hi, I'm Cal."
I will be the Monique heart of this episode. Then.
Yeah, you're definitely going to be good cop, and I am going to be bad cop.
So anyway, we get into the workroom after Cherry's elimination, and Tia, who I really enjoyed this whole episode, and I'll explain why throughout.
Please explain.
Tia was shady about Cherry leaving, and I think her words was she was here.
Bitch, you are here. Like, and God knows why.
Tia did well the last episode, and even you laughed at her last episode because she made you laugh.
Look, I don't dislike her as a person, and as I said, like, she's one of the people who it was nice to see a little bit of like a vulnerability and stuff like that. And like, I'm not criticizing the girl's like personality or like who she is as a person. She seems like a really nice, funny, like vibrant, like effervescent queen. However, she needs to go. There's lack of literally anything. Or like I'm really not seeing it.
Anyway,
like I failed to see what the judges are like maintaining to let her slide by on. Yes, she was okay last week, like, but she wasn't the star of that show last week.
I will say, to Tia's defense, Ru always says. Actually, they say throughout the whole series.
Here's a fucking example where
Ru laugh, and
Beyonce never won, was not even nominated, I don't think, for the Oscar for Dreamgirls.
That was a travesty,
right? She's Beyonce, and even she was still like, meh. She was all right in that film. She obviously wasn't. I didn't love her in that film, but Jennifer Hudson was like the standout.
Yeah.
So in Rats the Musical, she was all right. She was okay.
So you're saying she's the Beyonce of Rats the Musical?
I've really misinterpreted how I started this.
I thought Nika was Jennifer Hudson.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, as we've got that on tape.
Although, ironically, it's Tia who is telling you that she's not going.
She ain't going nowhere.
And I am telling you, I'm not going.
And she proved that this episode. So, mini challenge, the girls have to do a limbo competition, which apparently...
You mean Notting Hill Carnival? Like...
I did not understand the correlation between the limbo.
Sometimes I feel like Ru tries to like shoehorn in like British things, and it's like, girl, we know we're British. Like, you don't need to make the TV show British.
You didn't need
like,
to tell me that I'm watching UK Drag Race.
Yeah, like we know. Yeah. Like we know.
I just have to hear Lawrence open her mouth. I know who I am.
Yeah, so I'm just like, one, why was fucking Jodie Harsh there? Like, she doesn't even really DJ in real life, so it was very apparent that she wasn't DJing here.
I like Jodie Harsh.
I can, no. Get a new wig, please.
It's her aesthetic.
And stop wearing pants.
It's her aesthetic. You wouldn't tell Ariana Grande to stop wearing a ponytail.
I would tell Ariana to her face to stop wearing a ponytail.
But you still like her.
So as I said, I am filled with venom for this episode.
Anyway, I will say, those...
Cha-cha bitch is not carnival music either. Like,
those two boys were living their best life. Especially the taller one. He was shaking his moneymaker like no one's business throughout that whole thing. But anyway, the girls, I was surprised by Ellie and Veronica, how well they did. Especially Veronica, she got to like the second to last.
I'm not being funny, but Veronica is obviously quite a thin, quite a elven. I mean, she's compared herself to Gollum. I'm not being funny, but she's never looked more like Gollum than in that challenge. The way her body was contorting to get her underneath that thing.
Her face.
That as well. But like, the way she was contorting to get underneath it, I was like, yeah, my precious.
I mean,
I was like, ah! Oh my god.
Precious! Lord of my water! Damn, this is some scary shit!
I mean, her and Taste have really strong backs because they went in, especially when they did the last one and their ankles.
When they broke the ankles to get under, yeah. Do you know who I really enjoyed though as well? I thought Jenny was funny when she just walked under it because I thought it was just quite comical.
Predictable.
But it was...
Predictable.
Oh my god.
And then she went, I was like, oh, no.
Yeah, that's her thing though, isn't it? She's the, alright, Barbs.
No.
I like her personality. I do not like her drag, and I probably will never really like compliment anything that she wears. But she's got a great personality, and she's really good TV.
For radio.
You're rude. Rude. And I thought Lawrence looked fucking crazy.
Lawrence looked like she escaped a carnival that wasn't Notting Hill.
Like a zombie apocalypse.
She looked a hot
Apocalypse.
Post-apocalyptic.
So anyway, Veronica and Taste win the challenge, and actually they didn't win the challenge, they lost, but they were the two girls to get the furthest, so losing's the new winning. I think they did a good job picking boxes. I mean, there's 5 colours, so Taste pairs up with a horror and gets black. And we all know
which I don't think is the
likes
first
black.
time. Ahora's definitely paired up and got black with Taste before.
Veronica and Tia get green. Estina and Bimini get blue. Sister and Ginny get pink. And Ellie and Lawrence get gold.
I thought their box was beige when it was lined up, and I was like, who did they give beige to? And then when he said gold, and I was like, oh, thank goodness. Because I was like, imagine getting the beige box. Beige for drag. Like, it would have been so funny. But yeah, Skims.
So, one of my biggest gripes with this whole episode, and Drag Race has been on for over 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know this is coming. Bitches, you need to learn how to sew. I don't mean...
It's not even hard.
I don't mean like sweatshop sewing. I mean like, girl, do a 1-2 stitch. Get a needle.
Everybody 1-2 stitch. I love it when you want to
Get
stitch.
a needle, thread the thread through the eye. Apply pressure, fabric, up, down, up. It's very simple. It's not that hard. So when Taste and Tia were like, oh, I don't know how to sew.
There's a hem here and here.
I mean, girl, I'll just drape some fabric, like do something. It was really disappointing to see when queens say they can't sew.
You're joking. Not another one?
I mean, I always think like, there's always certain aspects of Drag Race that never change.
Yeah.
Like you said, sewing will always be, or a design challenge will always be there. If that means you literally before you leave, you have one pattern.
Yeah.
Like one like a dress or like some sort of like gown or like a cat suit or something like that, and you take that and you have it in your kit in your case. At least it means that you have that one solid thing, and then obviously like how you embellish it or whatever is like how you can adapt it to the challenge. But you should at least take and be able to sew one thing, at least one thing.
Or at least do
and then Snatch Game, I don't understand when queens go in and they're like, oh, I didn't I'm not an impressionist. Then why are you here?
Because you have to do it for your audition tape as well. So how did you get in? Did you TM Tamara this whole shit and get your twin to?
I did not know where you were going with that.
Like, I don't get it. So it was really disappointing when Taste and Tia brought that up. Oh, just do a bend de la creme and hot glue some shit to a dress. She won the challenge with a hot glue, so...
With a hot glue.
Anything is possible.
It's possible.
Another thing I noticed this episode, apparently berets are in because 5 of the fucking queens in the workroom. Half of the
What's
queens.
worse is obviously you had Ahura and Jenny and Bimini in different ones, but Tace and Sister are wearing the exact same beret.
I think they just swap them girl to girl. And then I realised in Ahora's confessional, she's wearing the same beret that Tace wears in the workroom.
It's probably
So
because they're sharing a
obviously
room.
they don't just share bodily fluids, they share clothes. So then Rue comes into the workroom to discuss the looks with the girls, and we get Astina talking to Rue about how she's gonna do this anime Harajuku. And what's more disappointing, she was describing it to Rue, and Rue wasn't buying it. And I'm like, if Rue's not buying it, this is the man who decides your fate in the competition. If he's not buying it, girl, change it, because...
But some girls it works for when he doesn't buy it, because think about Gigi Good with her Snatch Game.
True.
She was like, do not do a robot. Like literally explicitly said, do not do this character.
But
and
I
she was
feel
like, I hear what you're saying, go fuck yourself.
But the difference between Gigi and Astina...
Also, T. So the internet has been speaking. Apparently, speaking of the word fuck off, or the term fuck off, apparently in an upcoming episode,
Oh yeah. Ooh.
somebody, and the word on the street is that it's Ginny Lemon.
Oh, just tell the people.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Tells Rue to fuck off in an upcoming episode and refuses to lip sync.
And
And apparently then doesn't go to the reunion. So obviously we need to watch and find out. However, that's what the
streets are saying.
Yeah, that's what
Thank you, Wendy, for that update.
Oh, you know.
But yeah, back to Astina. I just think if Rue doesn't like it, change it. Yes, Gigi didn't change her choice, but I think the difference between Gigi and Astina, Gigi was sold and committed to what she was doing. I felt like there was this sense of doubt and questioning in Astina that I didn't get when Gigi was doing Maria the Robot. What's the French for saboteur?
And I'm not angry, just disappointed.
Sorry, what's the English for saboteur? Astina.
I was like, I think saboteur is still English.
French. No, it's a French word.
Yeah, but it's used in English. That's why I was like, it's the
No,
same.
go.
He was just trying to be like a bit.
Then you get Lawrence the shit stirrer, who basically threw a taste
Oh,
of
Rupauls, it's me! I'm here to stir some shite!
when Lawrence basically...
Wanny has left a shite.
Does somebody not know how to flush a toilet after they've had a shit? What do you mean? Well, it was fucking one of yous. Disgusting!
Lawrence basically outed a taste of a horror in the workroom.
I've noticed a lot of sexual tension between Ahura and Tace. Oh, really?
And said there's sexual tension between Ahura and Tace, which, I mean, it's obvious.
Come on, is the Pope a Catholic?
That is Tace and Ahura. I mean, I also feel like the edit is making it out to be something more as well. Like, I see bits where they always put Tace and Ahura sat next to each other. It's always Tace and Ahura together. And it's just interesting to see how, obviously, something's happened between the two of them, but how Ahura literally goes with puppy dog eyes to Tace. And it's like, do you need help? Because, you know, I'm here for you if you need anything. I'd be like, bitch, I would be focused on me in that situation. But then, I don't know, maybe I don't want...
But,
It's hard.
question. Actually, and I don't know if you. I feel
Want
like
to
I'm.
answer
I
this
feel like
question?
yeah. I feel like I'm going to get like a shady fucking response, whereas I would give a nice response. Think about if you and I were on that show, right?
Girl, I ain't helping you.
See, this is where the difference is.
Because we ain't fucking.
No, but I don't mean that. But because if you're somebody that that I care about,
Yeah.
which obviously they do care about each other. There's that thing where like you want them to get to the end.
With you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's the same thing as like, you know, when Trinity the Tuck and stuff like that used to say that like she wanted to win by like winning against the best.
Yeah.
So like she would never send home somebody who was like
Her biggest
competition just because for an opportunity to get them out of the way. She wanted it to be a case of like,
I beat you first.
as they always say, it's the Olympics of drag. Do you want to be like in the Olympic sized pool, like doing laps with like Michael Phelps, or do you want to be in like the kiddie pool, like?
Oh girl, I would say the kiddie pool.
See, this is where the difference is. So I'm the kind of person I would want to do like, so if I was with somebody there that I cared about, I would want them to succeed. And obviously in this challenge, you're so like, there's still so much distance to go until they're at the finish line. So even if you were to help the person that you're friendly with at this stage, it's not going to backfire.
Bitch, I'm gonna take the kiddie pool. I'm gonna vote every bitch who's a threat out, because a win is a win. Whether I win against the worst or the best, I still win. And that is how you play the game. Because then it's a reality show competition. It's not a competition reality show.
This is not RuPaul's Best Friend Race!
It's not that either. So anyway, Veronica and Taste win the challenge, and actually they didn't win the challenge, they lost, but they were the two girls to get the furthest, so losing's the new winning. But no, it's like what they said on the airplane, put your mask on first before you can help your own child. Like,
in the event of an emergency, oxygen masks will pop down, and be sure to secure yours before the others, unless it's a fetus.
you need to put you first.
Thank you, Ryanair.
Put you first, and that's what I would have done. But then again, if the dick is good, I'm not surprised the whore was there helping Taste. Because you want the good dick again. And I would have done the same. IJS. So then we get a heartfelt moment between Ginny and Sister, where she basically comes out to Sister as being non-binary, explaining why she wears the colour yellow. It was really sweet to see that side of Ginny, because before then it was always like her being funny and
well, again, it's kind of similar to the whole like storyline narrative that we've had with Lawrence, isn't it? That like the people who that try to be the funniest in a room are usually the ones who are the most like hurt and damaged people, because it's like a defense mechanism, isn't it, to like
be funny,
because it breaks down people's walls. So if you make them laugh, then automatically it's kind of like they're already like intrigued and like find you endearing. So it was hard to see her talk about
being non-binary,
and well, not even the non-binary bit, but just the being told that she said, oh, my brothers and sisters and I like didn't live, we survived, which is that's quite a big statement to make as well. Like,
but even her, when she was speaking to Rue about not feeling attractive and not feeling worthy, it's kind of like, I think she speaks for a lot of gay boys and girls who go through that like moment of self-doubt,
and
like
those who don't conform,
and those who do not conform. It was really sweet to see that side of Ginny, and then she goes and speaks to Bimini about it as well, because as the other non-binary queen.
Which I was curious if that's why she has yellow hair as well.
Yeah, because when Ginny spoke about why she has yellow hair, then it kind of like made sense then why the two of them would have yellow hair as well. It was really touching. I really warmed to Ginny.
We're the yellow non-binary mullet twins.
I really want. Is mullets an indicator?
Maybe because it's like short in the front
and
then long in the back, so it's like a bit masculine and a bit feminine, perhaps.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if that's true. Comment, sound off in the comments below.
Ginny or Bimini, comment
Jiminy,
below.
Jim.
Please let us know. Let's talk about runway. Rue.
Okay, going from that brown leather mess that was last week, I really enjoyed this outfit.
This was so cute. Like even the like.
Yeah, it was very like Dancing with the Stars. Like
she looked like she was gonna rumba, salsa, cha-cha, or the Latin dances.
We polka, the salsa.
She looked good, and then it was really fun to that moment between her and Michelle, and anyone who's lived in the UK.
You ain't my mother!
Would get that reference, like.
Yes, I am!
EastEnders is such a classic, so for them to play off that was really, really fun. I enjoyed that. So let's talk about the queens. First up is Tace, as part of the black duo. I'll let you go first. Let's start with the mean and end with the nice.
Okay.
I'm limiting you to 3 words if you're gonna
She
be mean.
looked beautiful.
Done. So, Tace.
She looked beautiful, like her makeup's always beautiful. She's a beautiful queen. I feel like when you get these like tall, statuesque queens, they sort of like can wear like anything and it sort of just like hangs on them, which Rue seems to love, because I think Rue is definitely like, I mean, we've never had a big winner. And obviously like, yeah, there's a lot of like, of that on the internet, isn't it, that discusses like Rue's kind of like not prejudice, like outright prejudice, but there's definitely an underlying thing that his preference is definitely like skinny, glamazon, like model, fashion queen. And if you can make him laugh, then you've nailed it. Do you know what I mean? I don't know why she wore that wig again. And you can throw on all the jewellery that you want onto it.
The cheek, the nerve, the gall, the audacity, and the gumption.
But like, that's such a like, I mean, it was iconic the first time you wore it. It was beautiful with your Welsh look. Why would you wear that the 3rd episode in? What? Like, you need to be able to show range on this show, like, and I get that money constraints and stuff like that sometimes can be an issue, but like, I'm sure they like supply wigs and stuff when they're there. Like, style a wig, like, no. And then the dress didn't look awful on her, it just wasn't great. Like, it looked alright. And then that's all I'm gonna say.
So, Tace, I loved it. I thought the dress was constructed nicely. I liked the deconstruction of it. I liked the wig, even though I wish she had well, Ahura helped her, so I liked the wig. I thought, no, she should not have worn that wig again so soon. However, I liked what she did to that wig to make it at least look different and fit what she had on. Obviously the makeup and the hair is always on point. You can't fault Tace not looking good. Was it amazing? No. Was it bad?
Next.
Was it amazing? No. Was it great? Yes. A horror.
Disappointing. Like, sold this dream in the workroom of like these huge puffy like avant-garde sleeves with like a train, and like in my head I was putting, and then she said the little beret and I was thinking, oh, we're gonna get like some like super over the top kind of like this Parisian style, kind of like over the top elaborate, kind of like almost a bit like 80s-ish, like Alexandre Voltaire drama, and it just no train. You lied. The train, it was a real replacement service. Like it was a bus.
It was a donkey.
busted.
It was a donkey and cart.
And the sleeves were not. They didn't look
Puffy
puffy
as
at all.
well.
She almost looked a little bit like Sharon Needles when she did the poodle challenge thing. It just, I mean, her hair and makeup were pretty.
Yeah.
I didn't understand whether it was a crystallized boot or whether she'd had half a leg that was it wasn't flattering because it cut the body in half. It wasn't elongated. It just, no.
But the bitch's face looked good, so. Next was Ginny. All I got was Jimbo from Canada's Drag Race. And I love Jimbo. But that's all I saw. I will give Ginny an A for effort. I was applaud her for going out, stepping out of her comfort zone and doing something different. She did completely different to what we've seen her since.
It was nice to see like
range.
The makeup was better than it's been.
Mm-hmm.
It was nice to see her like a skin tone rather than like clown white with like the blue brows and stuff. Those eyelashes need trimmed. It was
But it was
nice to see that she'd taken on advice and stuff like that, and like The wig was cheap.
Just
I have no.
Just
it
wear
was
a
just.
heel, bitch, please. It's not gonna kill you.
I really like her personality. As I've previously stated, I don't like her fashion. I wouldn't even call what that was fashion.
It was a tube dress. It was 2 sheets of fabric stitched together and her body flung through it.
You know what she made? A pillowcase. Which is what she said she
made a
could
pillowcase with no end.
It was a pink lame pillowcase and it put me to sleep.
So, sister.
Actually, you know what? I have one. So she's the only person I actually sort of liked. I liked the kind of like Y Project aesthetic ruched boot trouser thing. The top half wasn't amazing. I did. What is this circle thing? She always hammers circles.
I think she thinks she's Jeff Koons.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't work for me.
But I liked the sleeves, like the big kind of long sleeve. It was very like, and I liked her makeup. Her makeup was good. I don't know if the makeup necessarily went with that kind of like aesthetic.
I don't understand the blue face, but I'll take what I can get.
But in terms of fashion, it was definitely
the most fashionable.
Fashion-ish. Fashion-ish.
Right, Veronica Green in green.
It was fucking rancid.
It was the best of the two.
It was lopsided. Like the side that she put the
drape sleeve,
if you want to call it that, weighed down on the top, where it was literally zero padding, not even a sign of a tip, and especially when you've got that kind of like the pleated ruched top, I don't even care if it's not politically correct, you need to have a tip in that top. She looked like when I was a little gay boy and I used to like fashion towels in the bathroom after a bath into like a look. It was abhorrent.
I will say,
lined does not make it good.
I liked it because she lined. She took the time to actually
and
line the fabric.
I'm sorry, wear makeup.
Yeah, that's the only thing. I'm starting to get bored of these no makeup looks. Right, Tia, also in
Next.
green. One man's trash is another man's treasure.
No. Recycle it, hon. Recycle it.
And see, this is the funny thing, because you say Taze is one of those queens that have the body that she can wear anything and Rue will like. Tia has a similar body in terms of being straight up and down, where clothes would look good on her, but yet she can't figure out how to get nice clothes to look good on her.
Yeah, but this is the thing though, and like, this is where maybe like, there will be people that disagree, and like, if you disagree, let us know. But I just think drag in itself is about like it's pop culture. It's supposed to be like referential. When it all first started, like the original kind of like queens and stuff like that wanted to like mimic like the famous movie stars like Judy Garland and Grace Kelly. And obviously now we have all of our queens that like to reference your people like Beyonce and all that stuff, which is fine. It's like she has no frame of reference. None of her looks so far have referenced anything. It seems to be just very like mishmash trash.
Yeah, she needs to find her aesthetic.
Like, who? Like, I'm curious. I would like to maybe research it a little bit and see like what numbers she performs. I'm curious to see who's in her wheelhouse. Like, what are the numbers that she does when she has a gig? What is it that she's selling to the audience? Because right now, like, I agree, it was really nice to see the kind of like personality side of her and like the kind of vulnerability thing again. This episode seemed to fucking shoehorn again in all the vulnerability. It kind of sort of proves why she chose that, what's it, Tom Churi or whatever the fuck his name was?
Alan Churi.
Tom
Churi.
Whatever. It sort of like shows why she picked that person.
Because she has no model.
You didn't have any, like, you couldn't have picked any current icon to like reference.
She relates to his story.
Which
maybe
is fine.
Maybe it's deeper.
Obviously, like for that challenge, it was fine. But what I mean is, it just sort of like, it sort of feeds into this like whole thing of like that she just doesn't have any
current references.
Yeah, which they don't need to be current. See, like if she was like very much into like the 20s or something like that, and she always referenced like things like, you know, like Josephine Baker or like, you know, that kind of thing. So she always had like finger waves and like, you know, the pin thin eyebrow. That was her thing. It just doesn't seem like she has a thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I just really enjoyed her. Compared to the first 2 episodes, I think she's really shown who she is as a person.
Mm.
I like that she is aware that she's crap, and she doesn't make any excuses for it. She's like, I know this is shit. I'm sorry that it's shit. But I'm here and I want to try, I want to get better, I want to learn. I appreciate that. So she gets a 10 for that, but that little girl, that gets a
10 out of 100.
Astina, legs and face, that's all I got.
I had high hopes for this. I was disappointed in Astina throughout this entire episode, and I don't mean that in like a nasty or malicious way. It was just upsetting to see, as I've obviously fucking hammered in over the last 2 episodes. Astina is somebody, the humble brag that I am friends with Astina. Again, similarly to last week when the Mortal Kombat theme was obviously something that's very near and dear to her heart. Anime and stuff like that in general is just her kind of vibe. She was very apparent that she was going for that kind of like Sailor Moon aesthetic with like the hair, with the little bunches and stuff like that. I don't understand why, and even when Bimini was like, oh, you're not gonna like embellish it in any way, why didn't she put like a little like sailor collar cape thing on it, a big bow like what Sailor Moon has? You could have put like a little tiny like underskirt thing underneath it to like puff it out, which would have also counterbalanced her shoulders out, which was obviously one of the comments from Rue. There were so many different things, and then maybe like a pair of like white pop socks, or like I think Sailor Moon wears like red boots or something.
Yeah.
Like if you'd added in more like red and white into that outfit and then had the hair, and I also feel like it was a lost opportunity to not have anime makeup. Why didn't you paint like big...
Like kimchi.
Yeah. Wait, it was just like...
What she thought in her head didn't translate on the garment.
Yeah.
Bimini. I liked the look. I liked the lace back. Makeup was good. Hair was
a lace
good.
back instead of a lace front.
Hair was good.
The wig is the only thing that I will be able to say anything nice about. I think the wig was cute. That outfit was tragic.
She was the best out of the blues. Wow, anyway.
I just think like I got what she was going for. It just looked really poorly constructed in my opinion. But she looked beautiful. Like this is the thing. Like they're all pretty in their own way and stuff like that. So I don't want to critique everything because obviously I haven't really had much nice to say. It's been a bit, as I said, it's very venomous in this episode.
Oh, let it all out.
But she looked pretty. I just didn't like the outfit. I didn't really like anybody's outfit, so it's no judgment to.
And Ellie, I did not like. I did not get Beyonce. I
definitely got like the hair was very like Renaissance, like Marie Antoinette. It was obviously that's what it was styled to look like.
It was a bodysuit.
I got the outfit like when Jordan said that it looked a bit like Beyonce. It did look a bit like the bow down Beyonce outfit. It wasn't obviously as elaborate as hers was because it had like the huge big Elizabethan collar and stuff. However, it was one of the best on the runway though, because at least the detail that she, contrary to Astina not putting any embellishment on, she really heavily embellished that.
Ellie took the whole box and threw it on her.
I think she definitely out of the people who I think she should have been safe rather than Lawrence, in my opinion.
And then also Ellie, wear a fucking nail or wear nail varnish because no one needs to see your stubby man fingers.
If you're not wearing nails, you're not doing drag.
Lawrence, again, the bitch pads well.
I'm glad the body was back this week.
Yeah, the body was right. The hair, makeup looked good. The dress
you like my body?
Like my body?
The dress was just, it was nice.
It fit her well. It was just very like, It was very like old-fashioned.
It reminded me of when Bianca Del Rio used to churn out all those dresses with the same silhouette. I wasn't surprised, I wasn't amazed, I wasn't in awe. I was like, okay, I know she's gonna make me a good dress, and she made a good dress. Did she deserve to win?
It was not the winner, no.
Oh my goodness! Shrek has come through and taken the win!
So then all the girls are backstage for Untucked, and Ahura is feeling her feelings.
She doesn't look pissed, and it's funny that they said, oh, like, are you pissed? And she's like, no, I'm just like disappointed. You could see that it was disappointment. You could see that like she was very much like, I think everybody goes into the show knowing that they maybe have like one thing that there's going to be like their strength. It's sort of like a bit like Jan. And the second thing, Jinx! I think it was very similar to that, where it was a bit like you expect that this is going to be like your challenge, and then when you don't get it, it's very much like a.
I mean, she went to fashion school. She made 2 garments that episode.
She obviously was sort of in her feelings because she was very
she was
very like on 10, because when she was literally like, Tia needs to go.
Tia needs to go. I don't get it. I'm not buying it. She's not my cup of tea. And I was like, girl, you've gone from disappointed to just straight up pissed, and you're looking for someone to attack, and you're coming from Miss Tia. And I'm like, fair enough, feel how you want to feel, but don't be a bitch about it. So we get back to the main stage. The judges have deliberated, and they've decided that your favourite Tia is going to be in the bottom with Astina.
Oh, you made the wrong decision!
And they lip sync, and this is where...
To like a really good song as well.
Really, really good song.
Like a good lip sync song, and I don't think either of them were engaging.
I was more taken with Tia. As someone who's seen Astina perform before, I know what Astina can do, and Astina did not do anything.
Yeah, it was so disappointing. Like, Astina can do kicks, flips, like splits and jumps and all these fucking things.
Splits, high kicks, death drops, jumps. I do none of it.
I don't know whether maybe she was just a bit like defeated and kind of thought, you know what, like, do I want to keep going? Sometimes I suppose some people just kind of like throw in the towel, don't they? Like they're a bit kind of like, maybe she was just happy that she wasn't first home.
Yeah, she got her badge.
She got her badge and she gets to like, you know, go.
It's either that or Astina thought, do you know what, this bitch can't beat me, so why am I going to go at 100 where I can do the bare minimum and probably get away with it? And to her surprise, and to everyone's surprise, her bare minimum was not enough. Because, and again,
she conceded very well though. I liked that she was very like, you know, the way she was like, no, well done girl, like you did that. Like, it was nice to see her not be like
bitter
sour about it.
And then she leaves with a rude and exits the building.
Rude.
It's sad to see someone like Astina go, like,
I
not just as a
wanted to
black
see
queen,
more.
but as a queen who's very talented. Like, we know what Astina's capable of, and not seeing her like meet her full potential.
You don't. Oh, are you alright?
Yeah, oh, sorry.
Or at least go further.
Yeah.
Was sad, but you know, girl, you're part of the family now, so you've got over 100 sisters across the world, so you'll be fine. And
yep. Well, it is that time in the episode where we are joined by a fabulous drag guest. This week we are joined by the one and only Barbs. Hey girl, hey!
Thanks for joining us.
Hope you're well.
Hi, how are you? I'm good. I'm just broadcasting from my bedroom yet again. Yeah, I'm quite well, just trying to keep busy. And thanks for having me on your show.
So Barbs, thoughts of the season so far?
I think this season is amazing so far. I mean, we're only a couple of episodes in, but already I think everyone's so completely unique in their own way, and I'm just, you know, I don't really want any of them to go home, so I'm so excited to see what they have to bring. So yeah, I think it's a great season, and no shade to the first season, but I do feel like that was more of a pilot, and now they're like, okay, now we mean business kind of thing. So yeah, I'm super excited to see what happens.
And how was this episode?
Yeah, I also thought it was a really cool episode. I mean, I love the design challenge. I'm not the best designer myself, but I did make this little bra out of my old Mac.
So we're in the workroom and two queens are having a very personal conversation discussing how they identify as non-binary. Now I know one of the girls you are very close with, Bimini. What were your thoughts on the conversation?
So yeah, I live with Bimini. She's a right pain in the ass, and I'm also good friends with Ginny as well. So it's kind of really beautiful to see them both talking about this on national TV, on primetime TV. And I also think it's a really, really important conversation to be had on TV. And I kind of wish that there was people I could see that were non-binary growing up that were talking about being non-binary on TV. So I'm kind of really excited to see the ripple effect of that and how it's going to change so many people's lives. I mean, I've already seen so many articles about people coming up to their parents and everything. So yeah, I'm really super proud of both of them for that. And yeah, it was super beautiful to see.
So we get to the runway and thoughts on the looks. Who was the best and who, in your opinion, was the worst one?
So I didn't really understand the judging of this season. I actually, you're not being biased, but I did think Bimini's was worth way more of a mention than what she got. And I really don't agree with Lawrence Chaney winning it at all. I mean, it was, I don't know what they were thinking, but it definitely wasn't to my taste. Maybe it was well executed, but as a design challenge, I didn't think there was much designing there. It was kind of just something I've seen before. So yeah, I also think the worst was Veronica Green for me. Sorry, Veronica, but yeah, it just wasn't up to par for me at all.
So we get to deliberation and the two bottoms are Tia and Astina. Did you agree with who Rue had picked?
I do like Tia. I think she's got a special charm about her, but I definitely did not like that dress. And the fact that she said that East London queens can't entertain a crowd, so I beg to differ. So I've got a little chip on my shoulder about that. I can understand the judgment of Astina as well, but I'm not sure she deserved to be in the bottom. I would have put Veronica in the bottom, to be honest. Yeah, so I'm definitely sad to see her go as well, because I've worked with Astina a lot as well. So yeah, it was quite sad to see her go, but I know she's going to do amazing after the show, so it'll all be good.
And lastly, who are you rooting for, and who do you think's next to go home?
Obviously I'm rooting for Bimini, but I work with half the girls on this season, so I'm rooting for all of them. You know, I don't really want any of them to go. I wish they could all just stay into the end and we'll see what they all have to bring, because I know that they've all got so much to bring. I mean, it's such a shame that Joe Black and Cherry's gone as well. Like, it's almost like I don't even know who I would send home first, because I think they're all really actually quite brilliant. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting season, definitely. Yeah, I'm kind of rooting for all of them, but definitely Bimini. Ginny, Tay, so all of them.
Thank you so much for joining us, Barbs. That was amazing. If people wanted to find you, which I know they definitely will, where can they find you, and do you have anything to plug?
Yeah, so yeah, I've got fuck all to plug, really. There's fuck all happening. I've been making new merch, so if you want to buy merch, I'm trying to make merch as well that is appealing to anyone, even if you don't know who the fuck I am. It's a t-shirt hopefully you want to wear. So if you want to find my merch, you can find me on Instagram, and the link's in the bio. My Instagram is barbs.co.uk. So barbs.co.uk. Nice and easy. And you can find my merch on there. So yeah, thank you for having me. And yeah, I'm really excited to see this week's episode and see who goes home and see what's happening. So yeah, thanks for having me, and see you soon in the summer, hopefully. In a live gig. Oh, can you imagine?
Okay, thank you. Bye, Barbs.
Bye.
Oh, right. Favorite part of the episode is time for
It's award season.
So we're going to give out 4 awards.
Done, what do you call it? Puppets. In this episode.
Everybody loves puppets.
Guys, we're still getting used to like lighting and editing. We hope that like our positions are a lot stronger this week.
And we're socially distanced.
But however, we may or may not have. We don't know if you do you like this lighting, or what do we think?
Comments down below.
Yeah.
So time for awards: charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent.
Cut.
All cut. First one is charmisma.
Charmizbin.
Charmizbin.
I am going to go with Jenny on this one, purely based on the fact that she was very endearing in this episode. It was definitely nice to see, similarly to Cherry, with her kind of like opening up about her gypsy-ish life. It was nice to see Jenny talking about, you know, her trouble. Well, not nice to see, but you know what I mean. It was interesting to see somebody talking about to bring a bit of humanity to the episode. So I chose Jenny.
So similarly,
because I fancied a slice.
Just you. So similarly, I chose someone who I felt was really personable this episode, and I really fell in love with Tia this episode. I like how endearing she is. I like, stop, Tia, be nice. There's nothing in there, just so you know. No, for me, Tia won that category this week. So I give my charmism to Tia. Next one is uniqueness.
I don't believe any of them were really unique this week, so I actually really struggled on this, and Stephen informed me that I couldn't refuse an award.
No.
So on that note, I gave it to Sister purely based on the fact that her outfit was probably the one that I liked the best. I wouldn't weight it. However, I did like, as I said, the kind of like Y Project style ruched type thing, which obviously isn't necessarily unique. However,
that faces.
Yeah, I like the blue fit. Yeah.
So I gave mine to Sister as well. I feel like she really showed, as a whole, when you line up all the looks.
As a whole? I'm just a whole, sir.
As a whole, when you line up all the looks, her look was the most unique. Wow. Her look was the most unique out of everyone. And I would actually wear it from...
Ones across the board.
I would wear her look from the bottom down. I love those trouser boots. I think she did a good job. So you get uniqueness this week, Sister. And next up is Nerve. And I gave mine to Miss Ahura. No, I didn't. I gave mine to Julia. You gave yours to Ahura. So Nerve, I gave to Miss Ginny. I was very pleasantly taken aback by her performance this week. Also for her to have the nerve to take on Rue's critique and really apply it and change her outfit. Might not have been the best, but at least she changed and she listened. And if a black man is gonna offer you tons of money, actually he's not offering them any money. Girl, I would have stuck with what I had. No, if a man is gonna offer you a badge, girl, you take that advice, you change, and you make sure you do what he says.
That sounds very like man in a white van, like...
Get in the van. Put it in a poem. Roses are red, my name is Dan, I have a gun, get in the van.
The man offers you a badge, get in the back.
You get in, you saddle up, and you take that ride.
Come do it, come find it.
Yeah, just like that.
I gave Nerve to Ahura this week because someone literally had hit a nerve. Yeah, she just was not happy with the result of this week, and I thought it was funny.
And talent, I actually gave to Ahura, mainly because she found the time to not create one garment, but two. And so, because of her, Taste also had a garment, so bitch, you get talent.
I gave talent to not one queen, but two queens. And not just the queens, but just their legs. I gave talent to Tace and Veronica's legs for having the sheer strength and ability to carry them underneath the poles in the limbo.
So that is this week's episode, or as I want to call this, shit that Cal says because he's pissed about every other person. So that's that.
Thank you so much for joining us this week. We hope that you have enjoyed it. We hope that you're enjoying the season so far. And we will see you next week. And also, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment,
reshare,
yeah, all of it.
retweet, share it on Bieber when it goes live.
Peace!
Deuces. Love you.